Hello, I'm in the woodland of Mark Ash, the New Forest, and first of all, I'm looking at one of the biggest oaks that's in Mark Ash. It's 20 feet in circumference, and it's a good solid oak. Um, it's not got masses of character, but it's good and healthy, and it's a fine oak. I think it's a conservative estimate. It's at least 350 years old, the girth of that size. From studying the pollen in the nearby Barrow Moor mire, um, it was estimated that for at least the last 10,000 years there's been a similar woodland cover. These pasture woodlands have not really been understood by those that manage them and up until quite modern times. The policy now for managing these pasture woodlands is really just minimal interference. Wherever you wander in these woods, you come across interesting trees. Now, this beech tree is a very interesting tree. It's covered with great burrs and contorted limbs. It looks to me as though it was a pollard, but it is quite a fascinating tree, and this is a tree I would say had got maximum character. When the 1877 New Forest Act said that the picturesque nature of these woodlands must be protected, I think this is what they were thinking of. Now there's a little face I've seen in this one, which I've just highlighted. These woods have not always been treated kindly, for perhaps the best reasons. People thought they were going to die out, so there is provision in the New Forest Act to actually fell blocks of these old trees, fence areas, and then plant, which really we know now was really the wrong thing to do. Removing dead wood for firewood was one of the worst things that you can do to a pasture woodland. This is where minimal interference would be very helpful to remove these self-sown conifers. At the moment, they would be very easy to remove. They could just be clipped off. But if these were allowed to get bigger and form great clumps of conifer within these pasture woodlands, it would change the character completely. These very large open areas are really the result of removing too much firewood from big dead trees that fall. This is what should be left. Now here's a good example because we've learnt from mistakes of the past. Um, Big tree falls down and 50 years later you'll have new regeneration coming out from these bramble clumps, and the trees help to protect the young trees. Now here is an example of interference within these pasture woodlands. These young beech pollards, and you can see they're almost in rows, are results of clearing some of the old woodland and then fencing and planting, because the forester thought that was the only way you would maintain the woodland. Well, I'll finish with this beech tree, and it's quite interesting how where the sides have fallen off, it's exposed a root structure that must have been coming down through the hollowed out tree, probably where a hole at the top of the tree had filled with leaf litter, and then the side has fallen off, and there are roots within the trunk of the tree. Anyway, I hope you found that interesting. If you did, please click a like, and I look forward to making another video soon. Goodbye.